we have killed so many withers. I mean, just look at all of these beacons. Each one of these beacon platforms not only has one beacon, but has 4 beacons so that we can get all of the buffs. I mean, I can't even see how many there are. There are so many. They just keep going. There's more there. There's more there. And you know what? We still don't have enough. No, we don't. We still don't have enough for the super flat. Now, you may have noticed while I was flying around that I've added in some buildings and some paths. We've connected a bunch of our buildings together and our farms together. And not only that, but we finished the interior of the farmhouse. Woo! Farmhouse interior is finished. I know it doesn't seem like a very big deal, but it always feels good to get things actually completed and finish up your project. And interiors are one thing that I'm not super fond of. Well, that's not true. That's not true. I don't mind doing the interiors. It's when you have to do both the interior and the exterior together. That's when I don't like it as much. I like to do either the exterior or the interior, but matching the interior with the exterior and vice versa is always so much more of a pain than just doing one at a time or one without the other. Anyway, let's pop in and have a quick look at the interior. So as we enter, we have a little mudroom here with a couple little chests just to hold some stuff. And a nice carpet and the living room area. So we have a nice fireplace with a couch and a surround sound speaker system. We also have our banner there with the soup bowls and some grass blocks as decorations. Moving on over here, we have our quaint little kitchen. We have an island in the middle, a couple of sinks, and you can't have a quaint little farmhouse without your live, laugh, love sign, of course. Little cutting board. We have our stove and furnace, and then this here is our fridge, which I think is a cool little contraption. If you press the button, it shoots out some food for you. And then over here is the dining room, large dining room table with a cake in the middle. Just a nice little main floor to the farmhouse. As you can see, it's not really a functional Minecraft house. Like, I don't have any storage or anything in here. This is mostly just for aesthetic purposes, and we're going to keep the actual functional builds all surrounding the farmhouse. Anyway, if we move upstairs, this is where we have our open concept bedroom kind of lounge area. So we have our bed kind of tucked into this corner over here. A nice big, a big bed. And then we have another sofa with a TV and a glass coffee table. Again, some more surround sound speakers. And then over here we have a pool table because I love pool. I wish I had a pool table in real life in my house, but I don't. So we're gonna make one in Minecraft instead. So we have the pool table there, and this is our pool cue rack off to the side here. And that's pretty much the build. If we go outside, this leads us to our balcony. And on the balcony we have just a little bench here that we can sit and look at the view. I think that all came out quite nicely. I'm really pleased with that. Now let's go ahead and take a look at some of the other work that I've been doing here in Soupland. So if we fly up and get a better vantage point up here on one of the beacons, we can see I added the path that goes along here, along the edge of the fields, and connects up with all the other farms. So now our bamboo farm connects, our melon farms connect, and then I also added in these little huts. And these are going to be our storage for the various farms. So this one is for the wheat, that one's for the melons, this one over here is for the carrots. And then I also added the tractors here. I really love the way these tractors turned out, so I added in a few more in different colors. I think it's a nice touch. And then another hay bale or hay wagon here. And then for some reason, I keep getting all of these skeletal horses spawning in. Just randomly, they'll just spawn in next to me. It hasn't happened to me playing Minecraft at all before. And all of a sudden, now that I built a super flat, it happens on like a weekly basis. So I've been keeping these guys tied up here for something. I don't know, maybe I'll make a skeletal horse ranch or something over somewhere. Because I also managed to find a zombie horse. So we have a lineup of skeletal horses, and we have one zombie horse started. So maybe we'll just try to collect all the horses here at some point eventually. I'm not sure. It'll be a Halloween farm. I mean, we've already got the pumpkins for it. We might as well. Anyway, if we go inside one of these huts here, we just have it nicely decorated with some chests and some hoes here. Property of Soupland, just in case anybody can take these and use them, but please return them just so I don't have to go and fetch more. Not a big deal, I could just trade for them, but I'd rather not have to go and find new ones. Then we just have spots for the hay bales and the bread and the wheat. And this is the bone meal, so we can get rid of the seeds, because we don't need that many seeds. And we're going to get a lot of seeds whenever we harvest this thing. And then over here, same thing, just for the melons and pumpkins. Melons on this side, pumpkins on that side. This one we do have quite a bit in stock. So quite a few shulkers of pumpkins and even more shulkers of melons. We have 2 melon farms and only 1 pumpkin, so we get a little bit more of the melons than the pumpkins. And then if we exit and we take a trip over to the far side, all the way over here in the carrot field, I have yet another one of these huts here just for the carrots. Pretty much the same thing on the inside, just a place to hold all of our excess carrots whenever we do decide that we need some. And then you'll also notice in the back here that this has all been flattened out as well. I spent quite a bit of time just leveling this out because I'm thinking that we need to put in some storage here. We have our shulker box loader and unloader over here, but now that I'm building out this area, I really don't like that it's all the way in this corner. It's in the far corner away from everything else, and it's a bit of a journey to get here when you're all the way over in that corner or something. It's kind of out of the way, and I think a more central and quick and easy access location for that would be in this area, because then it's next to the bamboo farm, still adjacent to the pumpkin and melon farms. It's within sight of all these farms, and I think it's a better spot for it. And I think we can build up maybe some silos, maybe build up a silo or 2 around that in this area, and then we can have another one for other storage. I'm not sure. I think that's the plan for now. But it's not going to be the project for today. That's just what I've been kind of thinking about and planning ahead for. But for today we're spending most of our time in Serenity. I think it's time we head back home, head back to Serenity, and finish up some projects that we've been working on and putting off. Some little things here and there that really need to get done. And also, I gotta show you guys the arcade. I haven't shown you guys the arcade yet. That was one of the first things that I built here after the soup bowl. But it's still a little bit of a work in progress. So I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna go check that out, and we're going to finish it up, because upcoming next we have a event. We're hosting an event in the arcade where everybody on the server is gonna come and we're gonna play arcade games, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. So I think what we need to do first is make sure that the arcade is finished. Yeah, we should probably make sure the arcade is finished first before we host the event. So that's what we're going to tackle today. And to get back to Serenity, we can use our new nether portal here, which is just inside another one of these huts, which gives us room to add in our instantaneous minecart transportation system. I love this thing. It's so awesome. I'm going to add it to all of my frequented locations. And then on this side, we have a new kind of updated area for our portal on the nether side. It's nothing fancy, just a bunch of moss carpets, so it's spawn proof. And this just represents the super flat at Soupland. I think it's quite a fitting entry to our area. Soup. And we're back. And as you can see, we now have a Tower of Emeralds. Because why not? Now that we're back in Serenity, here's what we're going to do. We're going to start off by going over and doing a little quick overhead tour of Serenity first. We're going to take a look at some of the small projects that I want to get done today. And then we're going to go down to the bottom here, and we're going to check out the arcade. And we're going to finish up by doing some work on the arcade and then hosting our event. I'm really excited for this event in the arcade, but we got to do our work before we play. So before we do that... Eat up, Panda. Before we do that, let's finish up our work here in Serenity first. Let's go take a look at what we actually have to do and then get it done. So one of the first things that we're going to do is take care of this dirt hill that's just outside of our main storage area here, because we've been staring at it for far too long. We need to re-terraform it, add in the moss, add in some stone, maybe a tree or 2, and make this look pretty so that we're not just staring at this ugly dirt hillside anymore. And then if we come over here and take a look out the other window, we can take a closer look at our trees. Now, I built these trees a while ago before I updated my PC. I recently got a new PC that's able to handle fancy leaves and stuff. So now we have fancy leaves, and there's a problem. As you can see, the frog lights now show up pretty clearly. And it's kind of ugly. So what we need to do now is just go through all of these trees that we've made and just get rid of the frog lights and add in a log. Next, if we fly up and out the window here, around back, this is where in episode 1, we were doing our work building up all these trees and working on the wall and all the terraforming here. And I think the next thing that we need to do as well is finish this project, because we have the one wall done, but the next wall, the second one, and then the third one up there are not finished. They haven't been textured, and there's no terraforming done. So it's just flat moss. We need to add in some grass and some flowers and some rocks, maybe a couple of trees and that sort of thing to finish up that area, and then maybe continue on this rock wall around the coast there, just to keep this continued on and make it look like it doesn't just kind of end there and end there. So we need to blend this in with the rest of the terrain. And then we also need to get rid of this. This is my original mob farm that I built when I first joined the server. It has not seen use in probably a month. I haven't even been up here in a while. I don't even know what's up here. Not much. Yeah, there's nothing here. Anyway, so this all has to come down because it doesn't get used anymore, and it's a bit of an eyesore to everywhere else. If we come here, it's just this ugly floating cobblestone tower. So we need to get rid of that. And it looks like I think we'll probably need to add in an elevator here. It looks like somebody had to pillar up to get to the highway. So I think we'll need to add an elevator here of some sort, just so that people coming in from the path, because there is a walking path that leads around all the way to spawn that way. So if people do need to, for whatever reason, are here and need to get there, they shouldn't have to build up to get there. So we'll add in some sort of elevator here eventually. I don't know if that's something we'll do today or not, because I also have big plans to redo this ice highway in quartz, because it comes out from spawn in stone, and then once we reach Serenity here, I chose to make it quartz so that we have a nice white a white bridge to look at, because I don't like the way that the gray stone looks. And then as you can see here, it continues on after we kind of hit the border, the water border of Serenity turns back into stone. So we might change this eventually into quartz as well, but for now, what we need to do is add in some supports for the highway, for the sign, and then also change this to quartz. But like I said, that might not get done today. It's just one of the projects that I also have on the back burner at the moment. Now I know what you're probably thinking. Soups, are you ever actually going to build anything this episode? And to answer that question, you see, I think I might start by explaining my build process, where I start with creating an idea. Well, that was pretty rude of Editor Soups to just cut me off like that. Anyway, let's jump out and have a quick look at the work that we just did. First of all, look how nice this looks out our front window now. We don't have to stare at a big dirt blob anymore. We have this nice lush green hill with some stone and the nice trees on top. It looks so much better. Look at that. I mean, compared to what it looked like before, this is miles ahead. Absolutely miles. And now the whole area, aside from this part, is starting to look all nice and lush. Everything's starting to look all cohesive. Amazing. I love it. And then this part here, we continued on with it. Look at all this green. It looks so much better without that brown dirt on the side of every block. The moss just makes it look infinitely better. And we also covered up the top of our base inside the mountain there, so you're not walking on it anymore. Now it's all just one nice green rolling hill all the way down to the walls. And if we come down and look at the walls as well, now they are all retextured. So they're not quite as flat as they were before. Yeah, the walls aren't flat anymore. No, but that little bit of extra blocks just sprinkled in there just kind of gives it that little bit of texture to it, so the walls aren't just as straight and boring. There, it looks nice. And then I didn't add any trees to these second layers here because I think they need some builds. I think we need to add in a big structure here and a path that goes along this way, and then maybe another couple little things up on the top here. So I don't think we want just all trees. So I didn't build the trees just because if we want to build a structure and the trees are in the way, then we're just gonna have to tear down the trees anyway. So I figure we'll just leave that for now. We'll come back to this area afterwards. And for now we're just gonna head over to the arcade because we have a little bit of work left to do in the arcade before, well, actually a lot of work left to do in the arcade before our event. So I think it's time we get started on some of the work in here. Before we do that, though, I just want to say a big thank you to everybody who helped me along with these projects. I had a lot of help here with the rolling hills. I had help with the walls. I had help deconstructing my mob farm. I had a lot of help from everybody doing a lot of different things on this project. So I'm really happy for that. Thank you, everybody. I really appreciate it. And it was a lot of fun, too. Anyway, moving on, let's go take a quick tour of the arcade. So the arcade here is situated just underneath the soup bowl. We have our connection bridge there to our base and our storage, which sits directly above the arcade. And if we go, we have this nice pathway here that leads us right there. We have all these nice colors, the bright cherry colors, pasted along the floor and all across the ceiling. And as we enter, we approach this large room with this huge redstone contraption. And it looks super messy and all over the place and kind of confusing. And it is. It's super messy and confusing. But it's a lot of fun. And this is actually our archery game. Now this game took me a lot of time to build. It was mostly my first attempt at a real kind of full working redstone machine as opposed to just one single function contraption. This redstone machine actually does a bunch of things. It has moving components, it detects when you've hit targets, it has a win sequence and a lose sequence. It has a whole bunch of things, but we're going to come back to this afterwards and I'll explain this a little bit more. We're just going to take a quick tour of the whole arcade first. So if we keep going along here, we have a couple of different paths. And this one here leads us to our parkour courses. So this parkour course is our lava parkour. Obviously, as you can see, there's lots of lava. So we have a lot of death traps in this parkour. But this one was fun. This is the first parkour course that I made in the arcade here, and this was quite a success. We had a lot of people enjoy this one. Only a few people have completed it yet, though. It's hard. It's not easy. And then we also have this one. This is the second parkour course that I made, and this one is the Void. Now, this one is really cool. There's no lava, but it is a far way down. You can't even see the bottom. It's so far. And this parkour course is even harder. I would say this one's maybe twice as hard as the lava one. So even though that one is hard, it's still the intermediate level one compared to this one. This one's a lot of fun. There's a lot of bouncing slime block obstacles to hit. And it's also a little bit of a maze, honestly, almost as well, because of all the jumps that you have to do, you kind of almost don't even know where the next spot you have to go is. There is only one place that you can go at every spot, so there is only one route through this, but you have to figure out how to get through it. So it's a bit of a challenge. It's a lot of a challenge, actually. It's a big challenge. Anyway, moving on. We have a classic game of Leaf Spleef, because you can't have an arcade without Leaf Spleef. It's a very simple one. It's only one layer. It's a pretty small room, but it works. It works. It's a lot of fun. This one is probably, I would argue, one of the most popular attractions is the Connect 4. And this one's a lot of fun too, because it is a working Connect 4, so if you press the button, your block falls, and then your opponent can press their button, and their block falls, and so on, until somebody wins. And then all you have to do is press the reset button, and the pieces reset, and they get sent back up to the top there so that you can reset the game. So really simple, really fun. There's a lot of good games in this arcade, but we still have one more game that we want to add in. So if we actually just make our way down to the bottom here, underneath the games, this is where you drop down from the leaf spleef and you can take the water elevator back up. But over here in this corner, we have this whole empty room here. Now this was left just because I wasn't sure what I wanted to add in here. I knew I wanted to add one more game, but I wasn't sure what it was. And I think I figured it out. I think I want to add in a drop fall game. So what's going to happen is I'm going to take out the ceiling and I'm going to take out the floor and we're going to add in this huge column. And we're just going to create a bit of a fall game where there will be obstacles placed in the air at different intervals in different areas. And the objective is to go to the top and jump down and jump through the obstacles while falling and land in like a little water target down at the bottom. Hey Jazz, how's it going? Jazz just came by and dropped me off some wind charges. I don't really know what I need the wind charges for, but I'm sure I'll find a use for them somewhere. Thanks. Make sure to come to the event tomorrow. I seem to get a lot of visitors when I'm recording nowadays. Alright, it looks like we've recruited another helper for this. We've got our beacon set up, so let's start digging. Amazing. Can you believe it? We punched a hole all the way to bedrock in like 6 seconds. It's almost like we did it in a time lapse or something. Unbelievable. The next thing we have to do is just punch a hole through the ceiling, and then we need to put in some walls. I'm going to do some decoration, add some colorful walls, maybe match the color scheme of the ceiling and go with the textured wool and just create a wall all the way up. I'm not sure how tall, maybe as tall as possible. We really want to have a good drop to have lots of time to avoid obstacles and plan a route down to the bottom. We want to make it pretty difficult. We don't want to make it an easy one that people can just figure out a route and then call it a day. We want people to keep coming back and trying it again and again and again until they can finally get it. So I'm thinking that this has to be pretty tall. So it already goes down to bedrock, and we're at Y65. So it's already about 120 blocks tall. But I'm thinking that it probably needs to be at least another 150 blocks tall. Maybe give it about 300 blocks to fall, something like that. I don't know. I guess we'll just start building and see how it goes. Well, guys, I did a lot more than dig a hole. I actually ended up finishing the hole dropper. So now it's a working game, but this is only a small portion of it. Let's take a look. Let's fly outside and take a look at just how big this thing is, really. Look at this. I mean, this goes all the way down to bedrock too. And you can't even see the ground. It's so far down. Let's try it because it works. Everything works. It's all functional. So let's remove our gear here. Get rid of all that. We got nothing on us. Make sure our spawn is set. And let's try this out. I have yet to actually complete this, so we gotta run some tests just to make sure that it is actually possible. Oh, nope, not quite. See, it's actually pretty hard to dodge all of the... Oh, that was so close. Okay, here we go. This is gonna be it right here. Oh my goodness. Oh, come on. This is actually really difficult. I mean, not only do you have to dodge... not only do you have to dodge all of the obstacles in the midair, but it's also quite hard to hit that one target. Oh, okay, that was bad. All right, well, it works, but it's definitely challenging. So we're gonna keep trying until we get it, just to make sure that it actually is possible. I mean, we've gotten down to the bottom, so I know it is. We just missed the hole, but it's pretty fun. So let's just keep trying a few more times until we get it. Oh no. Woo, look at that. Oh, we did it. We did it. Okay, that's perfect. Awesome. I'm so happy with that. Anyway, and this is the bottom section. So when you actually complete it, you make your way through this little water hole, which brings you down into the bottom. You can claim your prize by pressing the button there, and you get your prize medal. You can hold on to that, and then you take the ride all the way back up. And this is a long bubble elevator, and I actually I actually died a couple of times building this thing. But anyway, let's take a look, because it's actually it's quite the view while we go up here. After we get through this part, we get a nice look at the arcade, a quick look, and then we get outside, and all the way back up to the top. There we go. Alright, so I actually think this might be a little bit too easy, just a little bit. So I'm going to add in a few more platforms. I'm going to finish up the platform at the top here as well, just for people to stand on. I'm going to do some finishing touches to the build as well, just make it look a little bit prettier. Finish up an entrance into the actual arcade part, and just get this thing all working and ready to go for the event. But the majority is finished. The majority is finished, and I'm quite happy with how it looks so far. Hey Odd, how's it going? Came to check out and try it out a little bit. But anyway, I'm pleased with it so far, so I'm gonna go ahead and finish it up, and I will see you back in a minute. And just like that, we are all finished. Look at this thing. I really love the way that this turned out. I think it's so cool. I think it almost looks like some sort of some sort of modern art building or something like that, you know, with all the colors and then the white supports with the patterns in them. It reminds me of some sort of like art exhibit or art museum or something like that in the styling. I don't know. I really like this though. I think the only thing that I'm still I think I could add still is maybe the words dropper kind of horizontally down the sides. I think that would be pretty cool on all sides, just so people know what it is, you know, when they're coming past on the highway on their horse or their boat or anything like that. You'll approach it this way and you'll be able to read dropper on it, you know. And so if you're interested, then it'll be kind of a landmark to entice people to come and check out the arcade, because when you're taking the highway, you don't see that the arcade's even here. When you're going along it, you pass it, and then I think on this side too, you don't even see that it's there underneath, because it's underneath here. So to have the words written dropper on it, I think would be a nice touch, but we'll add that later. For now, we have our event coming up. I built this just in time. I finished this just in time with minutes to spare, actually. Literally minutes to spare. So I think now we're just going to go ahead and kickstart the event, and we'll see you guys afterwards. Well, that was a lot of fun. I can't believe how many times people died. I think everybody died where people were saying about 150 times each. Probably a bit more for some people. Yes, I'm looking at you, Goose. We also reached a new record number of concurrent players on the server at one time, which is really exciting, and a lot of them were at the event, so we had quite the full house. Thank you very much, everybody that came and joined the event. I hope you had a lot of fun like I did. But that's about all the time we have for this video, so thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, a comment, and subscribe for more content. And we'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.